Yo, what's cracking?
Oh, what's poppin'?
You see it, buddy. You see it.
Yeah, yeah. How you doing, man?
I can't complain. Just music, music, and more music.
That's the way to be. That's the way to be. Keep this grind up, you know?
Oh man, there is no choice. We all gotta go crazy for COVID, and I'm going crazy for chronic and music.
Facts, facts, facts. Yeah, like I've always been going crazy for chronic and music, but again, this COVID shit is different. How's that affected you?
Well, it shut down the shows. I was in the middle of a tour. March 13th was my last show, and I was supposed to have a couple of more, but COVID killed that. So then I just became a recluse, stayed in the house, and I have played a couple of shows with my reggae band. But aside from anything, man, I'm just writing music, working from home, and taking care of the family, right?
Right, right. Definitely gotta take care of the family. But yeah, you said you're working on like reggae music. How many different kinds of music you got out there? You got your hip hop shit. You got your reggae shit.
I can rock with the blues every now and then, beatbox a bunch. I can play the drums, but for me, it's solely I can rap to any type of genre, any beat, any whatever. I don't care. You throw it down, I'll throw down on it.
Boom, boom. Talk to him. Talk to him. You know, like I love that. Like it, and rappers, like if I don't hear that confidence, I'm like I don't know if this rapper is really it, but like I hear it right there. You're like, yo, just throw a beat on and I got this. Like we need our rappers to have confidence. You agree?
Well, I think it's more like you want to. So, okay, so there's a difference between a rapper and an MC.
For sure.
A, a rapper, is wearing the gold, the shiny chains, the bling. His lyrical content is not the same as an MC. An
Fact,
MC
fact.
is here to uplift and guide and, procreate happiness and
Fact.
and deliver blessings and messages. A rapper just wants to tear you down and talk about how many crowns he's wearing or she's wearing or what have you, or they're wearing for that matter. And I've been an MC for so long, man. Listen, when somebody recognizes me on the street and they roll up and they're like, "Hey, Ceeb, man, you bust a rap for me?" I drop it like it's hotter than pancakes, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
I asked them their name, drop their name in there, you know what I mean? They start feeling that. So if you're an MC versus a rapper and somebody asks you to rap for them, kindly oblige them. You'll
For
make
sure.
somebody's day. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Like maybe walking away.
Definitely like there's been times when like I've been out and people recognize me from my show and they're like, "Oh shit, there's LEG," and like I always say hi and like like always make sure like I show that like thank you for like checking out my show. Like I always appreciate like and like that right there, like you can be in the worst mood ever. Somebody come up to you like yeah, like be like, yo, bust a rap. That can like change your whole day, right? Like just be like, oh shit, I was having a bad day, and now like fucking, you know,
I will totally be like rap about exactly what I'm going through that day. I'll freestyle about how messed up
mm,
the day is and stuff. And it's just good for a wow factor. It helps people realize that we're really, at least for me, I'm really freestyling in the moment.
yeah, it's definitely when like I've heard like been to mad parties and like hear people rap in my ear and but like it's different when like when somebody spitting a rap right in front of you and like they relate it to like something that's happening in the room and the way they rhymed it is ill. It's like it's a whole another level of like, yo, I respect this guy like that much more, you know?
Oh, you got to be able to like freestyle. Just coming up with anything is good and easy, but it's even better to be able to look around and comment about, like, while you're freestyling, comment on the things you're seeing and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
I use it as practice walking down the streets and look at the signs, rap about the cars, the people, the houses, the door numbers, the street signs, the raw random bumper sitting on the street or the hubcap. Throw it all in there, man. It makes a dope rap.
Okay, so you're originally from New Brunswick, right?
Yeah, I was born here, New Brunswick, and raised in Montreal. I've only been in New Brunswick for 18 years.
Okay, okay. Uh, I seen another interview that you said your mother is a opera singer.
Yeah, she is not an official opera singer.
Okay.
When she was younger, she could sing opera, and she won a contest with Oscar Peterson, and she won a $15,000 scholarship.
Oh,
Family matters happened, a death in the family occurred, and she had to give it to the runner-up.
oh,
She tried her hardest, but when you got to take care of your family back in the '60s, it's
for,
family or nothing, and she made the right decision.
for sure. Do you think that like her being involved in music led you to be involved in music? Do you think that's like where that came from?
She's ecstatic, and where I come from, there's a lot of people into music, not
Yeah,
necessarily taking it easy, serious, but definitely using it to soothe their souls.
yeah. Because I say that because like both like before I did this show, I was also putting out songs and stuff like that. And what like both like nobody in my family does music, but when I was
Mm.
younger, my dad took me down to Branson, Missouri, and I seen a bunch of shows like different performing things, and he said I was just super locked into it, like watching it. And when I came back, like I almost had like the artist bug I wanted to create, like but I'm wondering like I know quite a few people that like it runs in the family. Do you think like it just runs in the family, or do you think like something happened that made you want to do it?
We've always been musical, like me and my brothers and sisters. As kids, we'd, put on skits and little plays and, sing a whole song together in front of everybody. And I've always wanted to be a performer. And I do think I get it from my mom and my father because they're very outspoken people and
Yeah,
a lot more direct than most people, there's no beating around the bush with my parents. If you're, pardon the language, you're a fucking asshole. That's what they're calling you. You know what I mean?
sure,
But
for sure.
when it comes to music, they're very supportive. When I first started, they weren't fans. They didn't like the fact that I was a MC into hip hop. It was all I was gonna do for the rest of my life. They thought it was gonna be a sham. But 8 albums later, and they're over the hill enjoyable about it. They're happy. They're like, "Are you happy?" I'm like, "I'm happy." They're like, "As long as you're happy." I was like, "Have you ever had any expectations of me?" Like, doctor, lawyer, and they're both is the same reply. We just wanted you to be happy. You
Big
understand?
time. That right there is that's awesome. Like that's the key to this life shit, man. Like when you think about like what are the best things like in life, like and like to be happy, you know. Everybody wants that, and everybody has their different versions of that, you know. But yeah. So 8 albums deep.
Well, I'm working
When
on my 8 album. It's almost finished.
when was the first album?
First album dropped in 2007. It was called "It's About Time." It was released through a now not in functioning anymore record label called Criminal Records out
Okay.
of PEI, and it did well, sold out. And then when I went to print some more, unfortunately, because of data crashes, all that information's been lost. However, there's a video from my first album called "Life's Questions" on my YouTube, and yeah, it's pretty good. After that, life happens and deal with a couple of things like death and stuff, and had to not put out any music for a while. 2012, my second album came out, and then it was just successfully releasing music. I think in 2014 I released 2 albums, and in 16 I released 2 albums, and now I'm just waiting to
Well,
release number 8.
2 albums in 1 year, on your DMX shit. Like that's like that's not something to just like look past. Like that's like that's a lot of work. Like putting out 2 projects in a year. Um,
Yeah, I think I released them a day apart too. Like,
that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, here's one. Boom. Next day, here's another one.
and I told my friend, like, oh, I just released another album. He's like, you just released an album though. Give us some time. I'm like, no, man, catch up to the Pippin, man. Be like Heinz, catch up,
Catch up. Catch up.
catch up to the Pippin.
So, have all these like you said, like you got like a reggae music have all these albums been like hip hop albums? Like, do you have like a strictly like reggae album?
No, I do not. On my albums, you will hear me rock some patois from time to time, but mostly I keep the reggae with the reggae band, right? I may come up with a dancehall album sometime. You never know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Me not know, man. Me not know. Me not too sure about it still. Say, but one day me I go write a bomba clad reggae tune.
No, do you have a top 5 reggae artist?
Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Ken Boothe, Alton Ellis, and John Holt.
Okay, okay, nice. So in the rap category, like who were some like early like people like you grew up on?
I grew up with KRS-One, Sugar Hill Gang, Grandmaster Flash, and the Furious Five,
Mm.
the Treacherous Three. Grew up with One DMC, NWA, uh, Cole Herc, all the old school
All
greats, man.
all the classics, all the classics.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. When I was a kid, we were calling it. As I was getting older, that was my old school. It's still my old school. Now it's so old school. You guys are calling them classics.
yeah, like when I first got into hip hop, it was through Cube. I was a big fan of alternative music at the time. I liked Korn, and Cube was on the one of their tours, and I had the VHS, and I heard Cube on there, and I was like, oh shit, this hip hop shit is real. Like I need to check out more of this. And
Right? I've
right,
seen a lot of white boys turn like that. A heavy metal headbanging crazy. I put on some NWA or some Ice Cube or some Snoop Deal Double G.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
like, what is that?
for
What
sure.
is that? I'm like, first you need to cut your hair, get yourself a ball cap, some baggy jeans, and a hoodie. Come on over.
Did all that. Came over right away. I was like, man, this shit's on like on some different shit. Yeah,
Clearly they didn't cut their hair, but they certainly didn't listen to as much metal as they used to.
right, right. Yeah, I definitely don't want
And
the path like from
I can
Cube.
see the transition. It's funny because you go over to, like, when they were heavy metal heads, like I go over to smoke some hash with them and stuff. And you see on their walls, they got pictures of Megadeth and Metallica and White Zombie and White
Yeah,
Lion and stuff like that, and Pantera and stuff. And then as time goes by, you can see a Pantera's missing, Ice Cube is up. Metallica's missing, it's Missy Elliott now.
yeah.
Mob Deep, Wu-Tang,
Wu Tang.
NWA. And it's like, oh, I did it. I did it. I did it. I just turned some honkies to some Negroes.
The Wu Tang and Rage tour kind of like did a lot for that too. You know,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
for sure. Like both those classic groups. So yeah, as far as new stuff, what's coming up? What's
Well, I just released a couple of tracks on my Bandcamp called Oh Shit, That's How I'll Be, and Tides Change for now. In the beginning of the year, I released the CDPB Microbrewery. I think in March, I don't know if it was March or April or May, but I released a song called Take 'Em to Church. And the beat was made by Justin Make 'em Deaf McLean from the DJ group Church. And yeah, so I released that. That's pretty dope.
Do you have like a favorite moment, like performing on stage?
I think I don't, I can't really say that because every time I hit the stage, it's my favorite moment. Because I only live in the moment, every moment, you know,
For
and I
sure.
appreciate all aspects of all those amount of times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's hard to to say one specific moment. But what I can say is that there was one time I wasn't on stage. I'd finished playing the show. It was a festival. It was like Sunday morning, and I'm walking through the grounds of this festival. It was an Evolve festival, and this kid comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, hey, hey, you're Soapy from Skate Proof." It was a movie I played in, and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, that's me." He's like, "You were the star of that movie, man. It got 1 million views on YouTube." That was a couple of years ago. And I'm like, "Yeah, man, cool." He's like, "Listen, you freestyled for me in the parking lot on Thursday, and my life was headed in a bad, bad, bad direction." He said, "And somehow you caught on to that and freestyled me back to normality." He said, "You saved my life and changed my life for me." He said, "I thank you." I said, "No, man." I
Beautiful, man.
said, "No, man." I said, "I thank you." I said, "I thank you." I said, "Because that's validation that what I'm doing is right."
Yeah, that's amazing. That's definitely an amazing thing to hear. Like fucking, that this whole thing, man. Like just putting smiles on faces. It's just an amazing fucking feeling. Like that right there is like if that was a drug, I'm addicted to that. I'm addicted to making people smile. That's definitely a fucking amazing thing. Like and to hear that, like yeah, it just validates everything.
Shout out to Echo the Advocate, my brother from another mother.
Shout out to everybody that tuned into the live. We got and thanks for doing this, man. Like I started this. I wanted to do every Friday. I want to do 3 interviews every Friday, keep the people entertained. Like people are just staying
Listen,
in. People are
we were
staying in.
supposed to hook up back in 2015.
Right, right.
You know what I
Like
mean? But I couldn't make it because you're Guelph. So I'm like, maybe if I ever pass through. But look, at COVID hooked us up.
definitely, definitely. And like I really started doing these off like when because right at the beginning of the year I had a whole big plan for the year. I started doing interviews here at the house like every week, and then we kind of shut down, and I was like, well, what the fuck am I gonna do now, right? So this opened up a whole different thing, and it's beautiful that I get to talk to people like all over the world. We don't have to be like sitting next to each other. We can just be you know, just ready to rock at the same time. It's a
Oh,
beautiful
for
thing.
sure. You have an awesome platform for artists to talk about our lifestyles and how we look at the world through music.
Definitely, definitely. So like, what is after a show, you're hungry. What is the go-to meal after a show?
Man, I'm eating chicken. Maybe I'm going for. I might even just skip the food and just drink the rest of the beer at the house. You know what I mean? Like go to hell to bed. You know what I mean? But if there's a pizza joint around, or an all night 24-hour fast food dining Chinese food buffet spot, I'm hitting it. You know what I mean? But 9 times out of 10, the brother wants to have another drink. Probably best to go back home, finish off the night, go to bed, and be good for the day. Because if Ceeb Dread continues the night, well then, just
Yeah, yeah.
continues. It
It's
just
pretty much
continues.
self-explanatory.
You
Definitely.
know what I mean? I went to the show, played the show, was invited to the after party, and I knew it the moment I said yes, I was fucked. Screwed, glued, and tattooed. There was no getting out of it. These rotten bastards. I love it.
So
So I I try to pick and choose how often I continue the party after the show.
So, doing a lot of shows, like, who are some of like the best guys that you've seen perform like on the same shows as you? Like, who are some like really?
Mob Deep, Mob Deep, KRS-One, Grandmaster Flash, Two
I
Live
heard,
Crew,
I heard KRS-One
um,
is like insane on stage. Like, um,
Pumpkinhead, R-Rated Rugged Man.
I,
Who
I,
else?
I've seen Ari the Rugged Man. His show is pretty intense. It, it's pretty dope. I've seen him.
Yeah, Pumpkinhead opened for me and my crew.
Woo! That's
Yeah, it
fun.
was weird. It was weird as fuck. He was like, no, 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 I'm gonna open for you guys. Never mind all that. We're like, okay, all right. But it was smart because the crowd was early, so it was good to get him on stage early,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that they could Pumpkinhead.
Has there ever
I
has there
played. Now listen, I played with Classified. I played with Joe Rudd, the Bombay. I I played with Jordan Croucher. I played with Quake Matthews. I played with Mike Boyd. I played with Miracle. I played with Mickey D, Fat Monarch, NFP. I played with Too Bad. I've played with Jamie McLean Band. I played with Oka. I played with the House of David Gang. Man, the list is very extenuous.
talk to him? Talk to him. That's a fire list of people you've been on the shows with. Um, is there anybody you want to collab with?
I don't know. I'm a solo artist. I usually do things by myself. If I want a collab, I guess I'm gonna wait for someone to call me and be like, "Hey, you want a collab?" And here's the thing: if you're not on my label, I'm gonna charge you. Is it? You
Yeah.
ain't on the team. I need some cream. My
Mm.
pockets are hungry.
Oh, if you ain't on the team, I need some cream. That's fucking fire. That's fucking.
No man. See, my label is quite simple. Roll with us. We give you free beats, free mastering, free mixing. Shit, we'd even put it online for you to sell for free.
Nice.
All you got to do is roll with BME. Everything you do, you promote BME. It's a we do for we mentality. Those who ain't doing for we ain't with BME. Straight up.
How important? I see there's definitely a different level of artists when the mixing, the mixing of records is like sometimes I hear like good MCs, but the mix isn't very good, and it bugs me. I'm like oh man how important do you think the mix is to like everything
Well, the mix is everything.
yeah.
The mix is everything. If you ain't mixed down properly, man, your lyrics are gonna be out of whack. You might have it all set up wrong. Mixing is everything. You don't want your lyrics to be louder than the beat. You don't want the beat to be louder than your lyrics. Very important to keep that even. For those of you who record yourselves at home and are finding it hard to keep it straight, here's a little piece of advice. Match your vocals with the snare. When you can hear the snare and your rhyme word at the same time, you're in a good spot.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's definitely great for people to know. Um, how do you feel about when artists get on stage and they just rhyme over their tracks?
How do I feel?
Like
Pardon me?
like when somebody gets on stage and they're just rhyming over their song, like the lyrics are in the background and everything.
Oh, you mean like they're rapping to the whole song?
Yeah,
Like if they stopped rapping, it would be them. It would
yeah,
be
yeah,
their song basically
yeah.
playing. I
How do you
hate
feel
that
about that?
shit.
I hate it too.
I hate that shit. I don't mind if you put dubs like backups, like to
Yeah,
back yourself up in your hook. I don't mind if the whole chorus is there because that gives you time to get your breath when you're leading up to your second verse.
exactly, exactly.
Backups, like when you back yourself up at the end of a bar, or in between a bar, in the middle of first line, first word, cool. But not throughout the whole. I don't want to hear you rapping over your own song.
Yeah, I might
You know
as
what I
well just
mean?
stay home and listen to the song, right?
Like if you fuck up, I want to hear the beat playing, not you. You know what I mean? Not the song still playing. Like if you fuck up, I want to hear the beat. You know what I mean? Be like, okay. And that's where you got to learn. If you don't know how to, you freestyle. And the more you freestyle, the better you become at it. The better you become at it, the easier it is to forget a whole fucking verse and replace it with a quick freestyle. Go 16, back into the hook. You'll remember that second verse, but now you're
Yeah.
into the third. And let's go. You know.
I literally like when I used to do shows and perform. I remember there was a couple times like I'd rap my first verse. I'd have it done like perfect, and then when the chorus is going on, I'm ready to get into the second verse. I've accidentally spit the third verse, and I was like, oh, and like realizing I'm spitting the third verse and just finish it, and then when the spot for the third verse come up, I just spit the second verse. I literally forgot. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, as I'm like spitting it, I'm like, I'm spitting the third verse right now when in the second slot. But
I was doing a show in Montreal for Little Burgundy's Picnic, and I had forgotten my second verse. My partner, he normally backs me up, right? So he went to start backing me and soon realized that I clearly wasn't in the second verse. I was freestyling. And
yeah,
he's like, oh my. So he's just like acting like he knows what I'm about to say. He don't. And
yeah,
it's funny because, and after the show, he was like, you fucking forgot a whole goddamn verse. I'm like, yeah, but they don't know that, man. So shut up.
exactly,
They don't
exactly.
know anything. I said, the only one that knows I slipped is me and fucking you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like, that's exactly the same feeling I had when I realized I was spitting the third verse. I was like, okay, well, they don't even notice. So I just continued on with the third verse, and then yeah, definitely.
And then spit it. Sometimes people aren't listening. If you fuck up, you spit your third verse second, and then all of a sudden you got to spit the third verse again. Fuck it, do it. Bet you they never heard it anyway.
I've definitely actually heard people do that on stage. I've been to a lot of shows and I've heard people spit the same verse. They're like, oh, is he just spitting the same shit?
But me as an MC, I am trained to hear that, and I'd be like,
Yeah,
should have replaced that with a freestyle.
right, exactly, exactly. So, yeah, so, how do you see your, like, yeah, like your music career going? Like, what are some of your goals?
I don't have any trajectories or goals or shit like that, man. All I wanted to be was a rapper,
Mm,
fucking rapper, and I'm dope. Good with it. I can spit. That's not being braggadocious, eh? That's just telling y'all the truth.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, definitely. It sounds like it. You just want to rap and have fun, you know?
You know, I had to go to jail to take rapping seriously. You know, I wrote a verse, and somebody was like, "Damn, there's some good skills you got there. You should put some work into that." So that's what I did. Ended up homeless for a bit. Found my way off the street. Basically, hip hop saved my life. Now it's Crab Bucket, and here we are. I still love hip hop. I'm 48 years old, people. And if you think I'm about to stop hopping on the microphone any chance I get, you might as well go back to bed
So,
and keep sleeping.
how'd you get out of like you said you were homeless? Like, how'd you get out of that? How'd, how'd you like
Slowly but surely, you know what I mean? Friends and, mostly friends and hip hop night at the Capitol Complex saved my life. DJ Urban Scout saved my life by letting me sleep on his couch every Wednesday. After that, it would be back to the shelter, maybe back to the bus booth, maybe the bank machine under the bridge, but eventually I was able to collect enough money and, thankfully the government hooked me up with a check and I was able to get up off my feet and into a place to live. Now I'm doing slightly better than that, but I'm humbled by the fact that at any given time, one rent check late, we all could be homeless.
big facts, big facts? Like, things can change at any moment, you know. So, like, what are some main differences like you changed in your life? Like when COVID hit, are you doing more music? Or are you doing different things? Like what has really changed in your life?
Not much, buddy. Just still writing music like normal. I'm not because I released so much music in a short span of time. I'm taking my time with it. You know what I mean? Now I'm just taking my time, so it's whenever I feel like it. Because inspiration is always there. Drop the beat. I'm like, oh man, let's get it. You know, but that's how it
What were
is.
what are your favorite when somebody just drops a beat in a cipher like what are some of your favorite beats? I remember for me like when we used to have the CD and like we had a bunch of beats on it. One of the hardest beats for I really had to try and master was the Method Man and Redman, the Rockweiler.
Yeah,
Trying to rap over that beat, I'm like, oh shit, I need to really kind of like practice my shit and get what was one of those beats for you?
me, Triumph.
Triumph, yes, 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 definitely, definitely a classic to rhyme over.
Triumph. Well, not only that, classic, but it kind of forced you to teach yourself how to breathe because that beat's long, man.
For sure, for
That
sure.
that instrumental's got everybody on it, so it's gonna be a good 7, 8 minutes long. And if you're the only fucker rapping on it, get that breath up.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Breath control is like a fucking like a huge thing. I remember like when I first started doing shows, I was very I could barely even talk afterwards, and I had to learn how to like kind of like rap from like the chest and kind of like and get it out more and definitely that right there is how long into shows did you really kind of like get that down, like your breath control? Like,
Oh, buddy, I'm in control nowadays. All good. I do 45-minute sets,
yeah,
an hour and a half, maybe if they let me. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But I
but
remember back in the
uh,
days, people would be like 15 minutes. I'd be like, that's just getting warmed up.
for sure.
That's just getting started. That's like 5 tracks deep. And that's like I haven't even crossed the iceberg yet. We haven't even crossed the threshold. Give me a couple. Come on, man. I need 45 minutes. First 5 tracks set you up with the punchlines and the humor, and you know what I mean, and draw you in. After that, the next half an hour is fucking full throttle.
Mm,
You
mm,
know,
for sure.
real emotions emitting life.
But I was saying like when you first started doing shows, did you always have that breath control?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, my mother was an opera singer, and we used to
Right, right,
swim all the time. It wasn't hard for her to teach me how to breathe, you know.
definitely.
Especially as a rapper growing up with her, she's like, "Hey, I know why you're losing those last few words there, and I know how sometimes one word doesn't make it all the way out. It's because you don't have enough breath, and then you'll be like, hold it like this to get the word out, so you can
Right,
hold
right.
on to all that air,
Yeah,
right?
right, right.
you know." So yeah, she taught me how to do that a little easier.
Awesome, awesome. So, yeah, is there anything you'd like to ask me?
Uh, no, but I would like to thank you for the opportunity of doing this. I send a shout out to anybody and everybody who happens to see this now and later. If you're seeing this later, stop picking your nose. Somebody's bound to be picking their nose. It happens
For
all the
sure,
time.
for sure.
I hate it when it
Definitely.
happens on the bus. Like if you're on the bus and you're sitting across from somebody and they're just picking their nose, and it's just like, oh man, what's wrong
Yeah.
with these people?
You know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with picking the nose. You ever been just like close with a girl and talking to her and just kind of like reach over and pick her nose?
That would be fucked up. That's a little slightly intrusive, a little creepy, Eddie. I don't know about that. You might want to slow your roll and pick another bus. Don't pick a girl at all. Do it to somebody's dog. See how that works out for you. Eddie's choosing a Chihuahua.
All right. So,
We'll
yeah,
see you
man.
back on the show like this today. My fingy. I tried to pick a Chihuahua's nose. It didn't work out. My fingy's gone.
All right, man. Well, I want to thank you for being on the show.
I want to thank you for having me. If
Yeah.
y'all need my music, please find me on Bandcamp. It is ceeb.bandcamp.com. That's how it works out.
For sure, for sure. Make sure you follow both of us, and definitely whenever you want to come back on, just let me know.
I will definitely holler at you, buddy. Actually, before we leave, we're going to rock something for the people, all right?
All
Real
right,
quick,
yeah.
Theo, I said I spit a free, and I'm going to do it right now on Eddie TV. I'm an OG. They call him my name is Ceeb. The last name is Dread, D-R-E-A-N-D, and I'm going to keep it proper. My shirt was red. I put it on my head. Now I got some dreads, but no, I don't. I'm bald to the mic. I was called. I never stalled, never fall, man. I'm always down the ball. Let's get it, Canada. That's how we do it.
Talk to him. All right. Peace, man. Thank you.
Peace.